hands on deck, breakers ahead, stand by the tack, farewell Jack. When Jack told the story, it came from deep inside him. He wrote it down on paper, and as the knowledge flowed, he told of wayward captains, of shipwrecks and of mystery, of all the things that happened along his ocean road.
The reason I came to Ireland this year was to record an album, or a CD, or a download, whatever you call them these days. But I also wanted to find out more about what it is about this small country that gives it such a passion for all types of artistic pursuit. Music, visual art, poetry. It's a big part of everyday living in Ireland. Every town, every village, every city has these parts of Irish culture prominently displayed. There's not a town you can go to without finding people playing music somewhere at night. So I asked Tommy Sands, who we've been lucky enough to be the guest of at this beautiful place on the water here in Rostrevor. What is it, Tommy?
Well, I think music has always been very important in Ireland. It nestles and rests in the oldest traditions that we have.
Where there were murals of depicting the war in the north, there's now a mural of you and
yes,
your family.
Indeed.
But music has been a big part of you using it to heal the differences between the people of Ireland.
Yes, I think that at times when the leaders wouldn't meet, we found that if we just organised some events, inviting them along, and said, you don't have to talk, you don't even have to meet each other, but just come along and listen to the music. And eventually, music does something to people. It does. And I grew up in a house where we were surrounded by all religions. Well, there's really only two, to be honest. Or only one if you wanted to be smart aleck about it. But the neighbours come into our house. My father played the fiddle, my mother played the accordion. And my very earliest memory is watching feet tapping to the same rhythm, regardless of the political persuasion or religious affiliation. And I realised that music could somehow connect up all the secret and sacred things within us. And I think it's like high art, literally, where you go into maybe the Sistine Chapel or something, and you see this beautiful art in the scene, and everyone looks up, and somehow they're united by their looking up. And music unites people by inspiring them and raising up something within. Irish writers have contributed a lot to English literature. I think it was Oscar Wilde who said one time, Irish writers are beginning to get a bit fed up having to write the best English literature. But that's Oscar, you know.
When I came back, really all I had was the raw tapes, and there was a lot of work to do. So my brother Doug Brady is a very good producer, a very good recording engineer. So we took what Steve Cooney and I had recorded and we post-produced it. I redid some of the guitars. I certainly did most of the vocals here, although we did use some of the Irish vocals. But we communicated by Skype and all the modern technology, so we sort of shared and exchanged ideas. Steve remained as the producer. We spoke every night. Sometimes at ungodly hours for him, because over in Rostrevor, where he lives, it was sometimes 5 or 6 in the morning. But I don't think he goes to bed before then. Irish Australian stories, I think. I mean, a lot of Australians, I should say, claim Irish heritage. And there's a big synchronicity, I think, between the Irish and the Australians. So I've written songs about ballads of, Irish settlers coming here, ballads of shipwrecks, about, there's a love song there, about the fishermen, about the loggers. It's all really a mixture. It's a bit of a mixture of Irish Australian stories. Hence, it's called the Irish Australian story.
A fair wind will drive us, good fortune will prevail, and if God's willing.
I've never known a country that has greater or more music, and where music is more important. Ireland, everybody has to go there in their lifetime, particularly if you've got a song.
You will find the Otway lines.